Hi there and welcome. So today's video is about the things that I wish I knew before I started university, as well as some of the things that I did know and I think you should know them as well to be able to be your best self while going to university. A bit of background on me. I graduated from the University of Guyana with a degree in civil with environmental engineering. And I went to university straight out of high school, right after collecting my CSEC results. That same August, I was already enrolled and ready to start my first year, first semester, with no idea what I was getting into. Which brings me to my first tip, which is to thoroughly research the course that you are planning to do at university. Think about the time you'll take to get it done. Is it 2 years, 4 years, 5 years? Are you willing to dedicate this time to do it at this point in your life with whatever else you have going on? Think about the passion you have for it versus the practicality of actually doing it, because while you may be passionate about doing a particular course or passionate about working in a particular industry, it probably may not be practical for where you live. Maybe there aren't that many job prospects or any at all. So it's something you should look into, and how you could look into this is by looking in the job market, seeing, are there ads? Could you see vacancies for these jobs? Talk to persons who have done it before or who are currently in that profession or that industry, and ask them for advice. Do they like it? How do they feel about it? And get multiple feedback and multiple opinions. The second thing is to understand payment of fees. What I mean by this is, how are you going to pay your fees? Because you don't want to be struggling with your course, wondering how you're going to get good grades, and then wondering how you're going to pay for it, struggling in financial department as well. At the time I was going to university, I'm class of 2021, so not too long ago, there were 3 payment options. The first one, of course, you can pay out of pocket, pay everything out of pocket, pay all your tuition fees and everything. The second option, you can get a scholarship. There are different scholarships that you can apply for, including the government scholarship. With the government scholarship, they do pay your tuition. I'm not sure if they pay your facilities fees as well, which is a separate fee. I'm not sure about that because I didn't go that route. And I believe they give you a stipend as well for your semesters at university, and also you're guaranteed a job whenever you're finished with your time at university. So I know many person would go for this route if they're worried about job security. That's the route to take. And the third option is student loans. With the student loans, you would have to pay out of pocket the facilities fee, which at the time I went to university was $50,000, and they would pay for your tuition. And just understand, if you do take this route, just understand the terms and agreement, the time you have to pay it back, if you have to pay it back, because I think now student loans are free. Just do thorough research into it to understand exactly what it is you need to do and the best route for you, because what may be for you may not be for everybody else. So do your research. The third thing I want to talk about is grades. And this may sound very cliche, of course you're gonna say that, but try your best not to fail any courses, because that sets you back a bit. It's either you do it when, what they call during the summer, when the semester is finished, when you could be relaxing or something else, and then you'd have to pay out of pocket to be able to do it during the semester break. It's not free. So I would say try your best not to fail any courses. However, I'd also say try best not to get any D's, because oh my gosh, the D's pull your GPA down so low, it's ridiculous. And you could be getting A after A and B's, straight A's, straight B's, and your GPA is barely moving, going up, but it pulled it down so drastically with that D grade. So I used to say I'd rather get an F than a D and redo the course, knowing that I'll get A, B, even a C is better than a D. D does so much damage to your GPA. And it's not just about graduating with distinction or graduating with credit, but let's say you get 2 Ds in the same semester or in the same year, it could affect your GPA so much that you may not even be able to graduate, because there's a minimum GPA requirement for graduation as well. So try not to fail any courses, try not to get any Ds, but if you do fail, if you do get a D, just know it's not the end of the world and you can work past it. You can pick yourself up, dust yourself off, try again, continue pushing, and you could pull through. Next, I want to talk about friendship. And I would say don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to introduce yourself to people and talk to people that are introducing themselves to you. Friendship could make your university experience so much better. So I'd say go ahead, put yourself out there. However, discernment. Have discernment. You need to be able to know who is a good fit for you and who is a bad fit, because trust me, everybody is not looking for your best interest. Some people are wolf in sheep's clothing, walking around saying they want to be your friend when maybe there's something they want to gain from you. So discernment, that's the word I'm going to use. And the last thing on friendships I'm going to say is friendships evolve, and note that the people that you start your university journey with are not necessarily the people that you will end your university journey with. And I'm speaking from experience with this. The group of people that I used to hang with and study with in my first year are not the same people that I was hanging with and studying with in my final year. So just be open to new connections and have discernment generally when picking your friendships at university. Next, chat with the year before you in that course that you're doing. Don't be afraid to reach out to them. I know when I was going to university, I was so happy to help people that were in the years before me, because I knew how beneficial that could be, because we did reach out to the year above us and they, trust me, they were so helpful. They could give you insight into so many things, whether it is how a particular lecturer loves their assignment, how they prepare their exams, how you should prepare for that particular lecturer's exams, and these things do help you. The experience of the people in the year before could provide so many valuable insights. I mean, even if I've finished university, how many years now? 3 years now. And if somebody reaches out to me, I'd be so happy to help them to be able to pass it, because I know how tough it could be and how a little help during those tough times could go a long way. So definitely reach out to people. Maybe not everybody will be happy and jumping to help you, but how will you know if you don't try? The answer will always be no if you don't go for it, so you might as well. My next tip would be to enjoy the university experience. This sounds funny because people used to tell me this, and I used to tell them, what do you mean enjoy? This time is so stressful. I'm here just studying all the times, being stressed out about tests and assignments and quizzes and exams and GPA and all this stuff. But now that it's over, one of the things that I miss so much is those semester breaks, because now that I work, the time off is not as much as you get with university, and this is the case for a lot of people, like the majority of people, that's the case. Not the case for everybody, but the majority of people would have, a regular 9 to 5. So you don't have as much time off to do the things that you enjoy doing. So definitely enjoy the experience at university. Pursue the hobbies that you love to do, whether it's playing games, I don't know, traveling. And that may be difficult for some people, like me at the time. Nonetheless, whatever hobbies it is that you love to do, please find time to do it. Find time to enjoy extracurricular activities and just have fun, because as soon as you blink, it's gonna be over. Okay, very important one here is to find your study style. Find what works best for you. And this could be working in groups, working with music, whatever the case would be. For example, my first year, and you could see this in the change of my grades, there was so much I needed to improve on. I work better reviewing stuff by myself first before working in a group to understand the basic concepts. I prefer to work on the stuff by myself to know what it is that I do not understand, and then I could reach out to somebody or consult in a textbook to understand the concepts that I don't understand. But the moment I go with a group of people, then I don't realize that I don't understand certain concepts until it's too late. So definitely look into what your particular study style is. And also another thing that's super important to me that helps me is to not just read the notes. I used to have to actually write the notes, and that helps me to remember. One thing that I cannot do is cram. So studying was super important to me, and finding my study style helped dramatically with that. Explore different techniques, different styles, figure out whatever is best working for you. Class variability. No two classes are usually the same in terms of weight. And I'm not just talking about the credits you get. I'm not just talking about, okay, some classes are 3 credit and some are 2, some are 6. Not just that, but for example, my strong area is maths. So when it comes to the time I'd have to spend working and studying on math and preparing for my math exams, it's not the same time I would have to spend on another subject that I'm much weaker in. So figure out where your strong areas are, where your weak areas are, so you'll be able to spend more time focusing on that weak area to develop it, instead of dedicating the same amount of time to all your courses and not being able to develop in that weak area. Next thing is attending class lectures. So important. And I don't mean to just go there because they're checking boxes and checking who is coming to class, but go so that you could understand the content and pass your classes. This is especially important in the beginning, because if the class is not being recorded so you could go and watch it later, you may miss important announcement that the lecturers may make during the class that they haven't put on the slides, and then everybody is handing in assignment at the next class and you're like, hey, nobody told me about that. One of my biggest mistakes is in first year, I would sit in the back of the class. And if you are a Civ student or any person who does courses that are mixed with Civ, like the chemistry first year, that is a mixture of people from all different courses at university, so it's a huge class. And my mistake was to sit at the back where you could hardly hear the lecturer and easily distracted, and it's so easy to not understand what is going on, which is exactly what happened to me, and ended up with a bad grade. Was super upset, but learned from that lesson. in the next years moving forward, you can never find me sitting at the back of the class. I'm always up in front, close where I can hear properly and where I can ask questions whenever I don't understand stuff. I do not leave the class. I do not let the lecturer move forward unless I understand what is going on. If I do not understand something that is going on, I am not afraid to ask questions. I strongly advise you do the same because it's going to help so much. Remember, you're paying your money. Makes no sense that you go there, you don't understand what's going on, and you're just passing through. So very important. Don't think that you're gonna sound stupid asking questions while it seems as though everybody else understands. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes nobody understands and everybody just sits there like, yeah, when is this gonna be over? Definitely, if you don't understand the concepts, ask. Always ask questions to grasp what is going on. Okay, next is location and accommodation, which is not necessarily always within your control, but if it is, first thing I would advise is to stay closer to the campus. For my first year, I was staying right nearby to the campus, so I could have walked there within maybe 10 minutes and I could have walked to class. Maybe I'm being a bit generous, 15 minutes. So I could have walked to class if I want, and if I'm running late, I would take a taxi. But I did not realize how awesome that was until I moved, and the commute to class was 1 hour. Can you imagine? Especially when classes start at 8 a.m. That means I need to leave home at 7 a.m. And when the classes run late, because when you're in the higher stages of class, then you'd have later classes and to commute at home at nighttime. And at the time I was not driving, so it's either I catch bus, public transportation, or nah, I couldn't afford taxi. Taxi is very expensive. If you have the option, try your best to be closer to class. And don't even let me get started about the persons who are commuting from Linden to come to university. They would come very tired, and you could be spending that time studying or something else. So very important that if you do have the opportunity, that you're not staying far away from class. Next, I'm going to talk about getting a job while you're studying. This is something that I did venture into multiple times. Multiple times I tried it. The first time it did not work because, as I mentioned, my background, the course that I studied is civil with environmental engineering. So I was working along with a civil engineer on a project, and the commute from where that project was to university was 1 hour approximately. And to get there and to class, and then sometimes I had to travel back from class to go there. Sometimes I had to be there as a representative for the company I was working for at the time when the contractor is pouring concrete at night, so it was very difficult. If you do plan to work while you're studying, ensure that the job is compatible with the course timings that you have, so that the job will not be taken away from you being able to study and attend classes. The last time that I attempted studying and working, again, it was difficult. It was never easy. It's in my final year, my final semester. I got all A's except for one course. Don't remember what I got, maybe a B. Nonetheless, or a C, I don't know. I got all A's while I was working and studying, and they were both demanded so much of my time, so many nights that I did not sleep. Sometimes I'd have work and university on the same day. It was a struggle. So be mindful that it's not going to be something easy. So if you could have a job that helps you to still be able to focus on class, that'd be so good. Or if possible, do internships. sometimes the internships would allow you to study during your semester and then you just be working during your semester breaks. Those are great because they give you exposure to what you could be doing in the future in a company or in an industry that you could be working in the future if you choose to, and they don't take away from you studying. So I would advise to apply for internships. Those could be great and better for some persons in some cases than working a full-time job, because that is so difficult. The last thing I want to say is to remember the reason why you are there. Remember the reason why you started in the first place. May not be the same for you and me, but whether it's just to graduate, whether it's you want to graduate to the top of your class, you want to graduate with credit, you want to graduate with a distinction, everybody's goals look different. You need to remember the reason why you are there, the reason why you started, and remind yourself of your goals when you're facing challenges and you feel like giving up, because everybody faces challenges. Probably you're struggling with the course itself, with your grades, keeping your head above water. Always try to remind yourself why you started in the first place and how great it will be when you do get through to the end of it. And keep pushing, keep moving forward, and you'll be fine. You'll do great. I wish you the best of luck in your university journey, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, you want some advice, you want somebody to talk to. I'll try my best to make some time and be available. And also, if there's something that you think I may have missed, drop it in the comments so others can learn as well. Or if there's something else you'd like me to touch on, also drop it in the comments so that I could expound on that. Thank you so much for watching if you've made it all the way here. And let me know what other videos you would like to see. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!